Yeah, that's what I think too, Chad.
Let it all settle out, because it's, because if something happens, like,
Roger.
we're not going to be able to stop.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, there's one of those stock sponges. Center
Oh, yeah.
to the right of the Brazingid.
The one that looks like a tulip.
Oh,
But we're not supposed
those. Nice.
I don't know if we're supposed to stop.
We can admire it.
Hey, I'll zoom in.
Wow.
Yeah, Al, let's zoom in on Argus a little bit too.
One camera at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, now go for Argus.
Yeah, you can
What's
see that
going
little,
on in that crack there?
that's that little ridge of them I was talking about, right behind you.
We done with this? Sorry, Al.
Yeah.
Zoom out
Yes.
on Herc.
You got it.
Yes.
We'll look down slope here a little bit.
Great. Okay, yeah, that was an octopus I was seeing down and to the right. There it is. Actually, maybe two of them.
Yeah, I think we saw several. We're actually not there.
Right up
There. Now you can just see it coming into the right.
we
There's
go.
a line.
Mm-hmm.
And this is quite common, obviously, because cracks and fissures are going to form lines, and that's where the hot water, the warm water is escaping. And you'll see the mother octopus's line right up with it.
And you can see this line really continues up.
And I start to see the shimmering again.
Very strong again.
Oh, look at this. This is nice.
Whoa, look at that. Oh, and we have some mushroom corals here. I don't remember seeing mushroom corals before near these areas with the warm water coming
Yeah, I
in.
don't remember it, but I couldn't say for certainty since we were so focused.
Want to zoom in now?
Yeah.
In that last, what, 45 minutes, Jen? Let's go, let's go, let's go.
It was a sprint.
Okay, zoom out.
Looking in the Argus view, seems like there's still additional octopus down slope.
There are indeed behind Herc. Yep. Oops, sorry, microphone wasn't all the way down.
You can also push in a little bit more on Argus if you have it.
So what do you anticipate as far as any biota specimen collections?
I don't
For this area?
anticipate anything unless it's really desired. Because again,
Okay.
we got to just try. In fact, we probably have to speed up a little bit in terms of trying to survey most of the cone if we can before heading off to the whale fall. And we also have a little bump on the seafloor in between this cone and the whale fall.
Will you settle down?
That's probably sedimentary in
half
nature,
meter.
but it could, because it doesn't have a high backscatter return, but it's worth checking out.
Okay. Yeah, I just checked out the specimen request list for
mile
that
on Argus.
tulip sponge, on the stalked tulip sponge, and it's not on the list. There's a range extension of a
Zoom out
one
on
with
Argus
a
a little bit.
kind of umbrella
Like
or
halfway.
mushroom top.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, we saw the mushroom top one earlier on the slopes.
So Chad, if we're looking to go speedy, more of a keep going and not stop for zooms mode?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger.
I want to eat into covering a little more area now. And if we kind of, let me put it this way, like, so if you were to measure the distance between where we are and the summit of the cone, kind of the tippy top, yeah, wherever that might be, somewhere in the middle of that contour.
All right. 132 meters.
132 meters, huh? So if you imagine that's kind of the radius of the circle that we want to try and cover a good portion of. I'd love to do all of it, but I know that there's limitations with all the moves and how slow it is.
So here we're seeing octopus. I'm not noticing any visible shimmer. I don't know if you can see anything there, because I think you do have a better video quality. Not obviously in this view, because there's no octopus, but
yeah,
just before this.
Want to zoom in on that?
No zooms.
cucumber
Oh,
just released.
We're
funny.
in official survey mode now.
We're going.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's just keep zooming because
I
the
didn't catch
ultimate
what was happening there.
the ultimate goal is to process this later and do just kind of a minimum number scene,
Okay.
octopus scene.
Zoom is the moving verb, not the focusing
The
verb.
Nothing to do with focal length.
Exactly.
But is it an official transect, or are we just
No,
trying to keep going? Okay.
We're just keep going. Imagine.
I wasn't gonna stop. We just.
Yeah, we just want to do kind of a, putting the whipped cream on the dessert, kind of the all the way to the top.
That's a new survey term.
Oh, it is a cone.
So
That's
Exactly.
true. Yeah, so the next move we'll make will be a northwest move. So we start coming around the cone, like a swirl, like a chocolate vanilla swirl. And we've got a meter left to go on that ship move.
was that one in
Can
that
now.
crack up there?
Keep on trucking.
Hey, Jen, there's one of those peach-colored anemones. I think could be the same one that we find in the garden.
There was some in that earlier first area where we landed and came down and saw a lot of the shimmering. There was definitely some peachy colored anemones, and one that I thought was the largest we'd seen so far. There's something white and circular in the upper left corner, but I think that might have been a sponge.
Yeah, they're racyngids or crinoids up there. I thought they were octopus too when it came into light, because your guys are about 5 seconds behind us.
Yeah.
Can zoom a little bit in on Argus.
Looks like a little snail fish over there on the left.
It might be a cusk eel.
Oh, maybe.
We see a lot of those here.
Paul, can I push in a little more?
It's all right.
It's okay?
Yeah, that's just center it up a little bit.
Oh, you don't have to center.
Several here and
Then
there.
the little white.
That's cool.
Bathypathes, black corals.
You see some?
Bathypathes?
Yeah.
Or something else.
So right here,
It's just going out of the screen. I've seen several.
Okay. Okay.
During our route.
There were a lot coming up the slope, Bathypathes and Antithopathes.
Alternatipathes.
Right.
Yeah.
Forgot a syllable there. Alternatithopathes, yeah.
As long as you end it with pathies, it's usually pretty good.
Something pathies, lillipathies, bathypathies,
Black coral.
peppermint pathies.
You know, it's no wonder I'm always hungry when
Charlie
I get
Brown.
off watch. There's bubblegum coral, there's peachy urchins, some kind of cheesy sponge.
But trust me, that sponge, the
Talked about
sponge we were
putting whipped
discussing last
cream
night,
on
you would
it.
not want to eat.
No.
There were also some, a little bit earlier when we were kind of in the mix there was also some umbellapathes. It's a two-third type
off
of
to the right
Oh,
there.
octopus.
black coral.
Yeah.
On the right of your
Ooh,
screen?
brooding
Yeah, I
octopus.
see him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Should we zoom out a little bit, though, to get a wider view now that we got a few more
What are we
octopus?
zooming on?
No, zoom out, not in.
Oh no,
It's
I
just a
think
little white.
I think we are zoomed
we
out.
already is
Are,
zoomed
are
out.
we out all the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he had gone in a little bit. Okay,
I'm
never
gonna double
mind.
check.
Oh, it was a little bit, but that one solitary octopus, I know we're just floating here. I don't know how easy to just do a quick zoom and then zoom out like 2 seconds, and if not,
The one
that's
in the
totally
crack
fine.
there? Like,
Yeah, that one that's just sitting by
looks
itself.
like we're starting to get into another patch here.
Yeah, in Argus you can see a crack running up.
We can certainly zoom in on it.
That's
Go.
Just a drive-by, only because I want to see if you can. This one, there's not a lot of shimmering if you can see eggs, but if not, we'll just zoom back out and keep going. Yeah, you can't really see the eggs. Okay, you zoom out.
Go now.
Let's zoom out a bit on Argus too, see if anything shows up. There's a
Wait,
few.
is that another? Oh no, there's a sponge under there that almost looked octopus-like to
There's
her
a
right.
few right behind her. If you zoom back in just a little bit, Al,
On an Argus.
on Argus. Yeah, there's a little bit of a crack directly behind Herc, but
All right, I'll just zip back real quick.
yeah, you can see now it's lighting up more.
Yep.
It's right beneath you now, I think.
Okay.
And we're about to complete our ship move. Another one, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
You can just keep trucking.
Yeah.
Roger.
And I know we're not, going to get the full outer extent in every single octopus. It's just
Oh, look at that
kind of
though.
generally
Yeah.
get it.
Are these ones smaller than the other
Octopus
ones?
down there?
I think we're just far away still.
Okay,
Little brooding one.
that was one of the two
Oh,
options.
multiples. Yeah. We seem to be kind of in a line going up and off to
Bridge
the right.
Mm-hmm.
20 meters,
A lot of
37.
that sponge looks like it's like melting down the rock. But there's another one of those really large peachy anemones. I was trying to come up with a, oh, I know. It's kind of like melted cheese, like, what is it when you dip cheese in a pot?
Fondue.
Fondue?
There you go. So that's the fondue sponge.
More,
Yep,
more,
I'm getting
more
hungry.
food.
I was trying to come up with something food-like for Al.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, look at him tucked in.
It's now a bad time to say my favorite dish is octopus. Portuguese octopus.
Shh. I'll hear you.
Poopo.
Is there one deep in that cave, or is that a sponge?
It's a sponge. I think I know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
You mean behind the big sponge?
Yeah.
I thought there
Yeah, I
was
think
a
it's a
brooding
sponge.
octopus behind this large white sponge at 3 o'clock.
But then I was wondering if
Behind that
inside the
rock.
cave. Yes, there's one behind
Oh,
the sponge in the rock. We can see its mouth very well. I was wondering if there's anything else below it. In
I thought
the
there was
cave,
one
but
on
I
the
think-
rock that the sponge is on. I thought there was one on the opposite side of the rock where the sponge is.
Oh.
Can't see it
Hmm.
now.
Yeah, okay.
Oops.
So Al, you're not the only one getting hungry. Amity Wood is in our science chat, and she said she's getting hungry as well.
Let's talk about food.
Straight
Like we're
ahead,
starting to
maybe.
fall off. cone here.
Uh,
You need to come around?
yeah, I'm gonna do a ship move to 315.
Oh, you might even need to go more to the westerly, I think.
I think there's a
Just
few straight at your
Full
12.
west.
I don't know. I'm going by what I'm seeing with the
Yeah,
terrain.
yeah, no, I see that.
'Cause I'm steadily coming around here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to navigate off Argus, which is
Don't do that.
fairly impossible at the moment, yeah.
I think there's a little cluster straight ahead.
Okay. Are we trying to stay in some sort of depth zone here? Sort of free form.
Yeah, I mean, just freeform, kind of keeping with the edge of the octopus.
Okay.
Bridge nav?
The tree line, whatever.
It's just a few right over there on the right. Wasn't too
20
many.
meters, 270. We're going west.
Another 1 or 2 on your left now. And then it looks
clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's
We're
really
hitting
clean
that
rock.
right now.
Yeah. We're making the turn.
Which is good.
They're doing a good
And
job
Chad, you
covering
were
their
saying this
eggs.
is
You
pillow
right on the
lava?
bridge.
Yeah. I think this is pillow lava.
Right, but we keep tending this way, we're gonna end up going south in a minute.
So what are you thinking for a
No,
move?
no, I'm just,
okay.
they're directing me to go that way.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna end up going
Oh, you're
south.
gonna go full circle. Okay.
Yeah.
So far, Chad, these mobs are making it hard to see their eggs.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Hopefully, though, when you get another flow area, they seem to be more active in the
Yeah, I
the
just
flow
figure if we
areas
cover
with the
more
high flow.
ground sooner rather than later, and if we get
Yeah.
ahead of schedule or on time, we can start stopping more often.
The one on the bottom screens got the tentacles
I just don't want to
out.
get in a situation if we stop too much and then we can't cover the majority of the area.
Right. Nope, definitely. So that one on the left side, that is not in a breeding posture. The third arm does appear to be curled over towards the mantle,
Yeah.
and that sometimes I notice the males are sitting that way. So that might be a male.
And how do they breed?
Can you say that again, Jan?
Sorry, how do they breed?
There's a really long.
Are they broadcast spawners or?
No, the male has the modified third arm, and he transfers
zoom
sperm
in real quick,
packets
Al?
through the mantle cavity of the female.
Oh, wow.
Inseminates her that way.
But what I've heard is that she can take a packet and not use it right away.
Right.
And she can take multiple packets, and then she can decide later what she wants to do.
She can window shop.
Ah.
Ooh, there's two in the here at least.
Yeah, I saw them in the lower left corner.
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I know you're ahead of us, right? We're in a delay, so. No obvious shimmer coming out of this large crack. The rock does seem a little cleaner, though.
You could put in another one, I guess.
Bridge nav? .20 meters, 290.
That one looks a little saggy. We have in the past seen a few females that look like they're maybe in the process of losing their vigor or senescing. So these females will sit on their eggs for, we don't know how long, but it could be years based on some observations with other deep sea octopus. And while they're sitting there, they never leave, they don't eat, and they slowly waste away.
Years.
Okay, well, yeah, there's this really great observation that was made by Mbari in the Monterey Bay Submarine Canyon of an octomom who they came back and checked on her for more than 4 years. She was there.
Wow.
Brooding all that time?
It was 54 months.
Yes.
Wow.
And she had these very recognizable marks. So they knew it was her.
There's the little
and
ridge in the cam.
More action up there.
Here's a
and
nice
it wasn't
line,
like this
yeah.
where we see lots of octopus. She was all by herself, and so they would come back and check in on her. And I heard a Radio Lab story in which Bruce Robeson was interviewed about it. It was a great Radio Lab.
I think, yeah, we need
We have a couple of nice lines
Oh,
coming
wow.
up here,
Yeah.
so we can sail over those. That's great. Yeah, so that other genus was 54 months, but you're right, it was just solitary, it wasn't associated with warm water seeps. Because everything, you know, metabolism, development, growth, feeding, everything happens at a much slower rate in the deep sea, lifespans, etc. The assumption is that this species too takes much longer than their shallow water counterparts. Like for contrast, the giant Pacific octopus, which is extremely large, their brooding time is 3 months. So, and then you get the other genus at 54 months. And so maybe this, we don't know how long the species is. Could be a year, could be 3 years, could be longer. But so one of the manuscripts that we're working on right now with Jim Barry is postulating that, you know, the warm water, you know, basic theory just speeds up development of the eggs, and that would give them the advantage of producing more per unit of time, but also reducing predation pressure. But there could be other benefits too, like they typically will oxygenate their eggs with their siphon. Now, counterintuitively, the water coming out of these seeps are actually lower in oxygen than ambient, but it's flowing. So there's an argument that maybe it conserves some energy if they let the earth kind of oxygenate their eggs. Even though it's lower, maybe it's still enough. As we can clearly see, we've seen these guys hatch all over the place, so.
It would be interesting, though, to be able to see some eggs in these areas where we don't see obvious flow, and see if we see developing eggs here, too.
I think we're just about at tether limits.
Well, we already saw one baby octopus on the last shift, which was nice.
No, I'm just wondering if it matters if you find an area with active flow.
To complete the move.
I'm hoping kind of when we're at the summit again, but on new parts of the summit, we'll be a slightly ahead of schedule, whenever that may be, sometime in the early morning, and we can do that, sit down and really start looking.
Do you see, it just came into my view, it's probably already in your view, there's something looking like paper that's been folded up, sitting above one of the mamas.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know if that's an old dead sponge. I'm not sure.
Huh. Strange looking.
It looks human-ish.
It could be plastic, I guess, like a plastic sheet. Something.
Yeah.
I did see a tarp
May have
when
gotten
we
a
were
lot
at Pioneer
of detritus
Canyon.
all over it. We're a long ways from Pioneer Canyon. We're pretty far offshore, too. How far offshore do you think we are?
I always forget with Davidson. I think it's 50 miles as the crow flies from Big Sur.
Wow.
So Bob,
Yeah,
coming down, or can we start
probably
heading
about
west again?
you can just keep going.
South or west?
Huh?
Do you want me to keep coming down south or
yeah, well,
start moving?
I think that's the way I think we've come around, so.
Top right
Okay.
screen is an
We're
active
heading
octopus.
that way.
Tentacles
know.
moving.
Yeah, I was curious if there was any
No.
flow coming out of that
Go more westerly, I guess.
cave
I
where
don't see.
below
See
the
any.
octopus that's twirling her arms.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we can still go west.
Maybe zoom in.
Roger. Bridge nav.
Can I get a zoom?
Okay.
Bob?
Yep.
Quick zoom.
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 What are we looking at? What are we zooming on?
The octopus that's twirling her arms.
Where'd she go?
Right there.
Is it the one in the middle?
That one was, moving.
Mm-hmm.
She heard us say zoom, and that was that.
Circles.
I'm not picking up any shimmer.
No,
Are you?
I know what you mean when we were further away.
But we definitely, measured in some areas where we've seen them in like 3 or 4 degree water, so it might just be much slower here.
Just a little bit. Right, I'm going to zoom out a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I did see a little bit of maybe it was pixels or something coming across, but I know what you meant, Jen.
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't just me then, huh?
No, I saw it too.
Okay. You can see how some of these, they really start getting tucked away. Hard to see.
Bob, I'm about mid-zoom, so you know.
And do all octopus brood their eggs this way?
You mean the orientation of the animal?
Mm-hmm. Males
No.
upside down with the eggs and just protecting them
This
way?
genus, it's unique to this genus, moose octopus.
Mm.
I'm coming wide, Bob.
Roger.
Yeah, because I've seen fish basically keep guard, but they're not like on top of their eggs. They're off to the side.
Well, I think that last octopus we saw, there was actually 2 there, right? One a little further in. Some optical illusions here, though.
Yeah. Had to throw it in there for you.
So, what do you think the yellow cat talks? Diana Waters is wondering. Looks like detritus to me.
So where we see the octopus, we don't see that, and so it seems like that's kind of the marine snow that's coming down and settling on the rocks, but the females are actively cleaning the areas around them and their eggs, so we see the rocks around them tend to be pretty clean in comparison to the surrounding rocks. It does make it a little easier also to find the octopus.
There's another line
because
at your 12.
a higher contrast.
On, Argus cam.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, here comes another
line.
And there's even a few more on this ledge to the right.
Oh, yeah.
From the Argus view.
So for anyone who's tuning into the live stream and have come into the live stream pretty recently, we should probably let you know what we're up to. So we're out here at the Davidson Seamount area of Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary on a small volcanic feature adjacent to the large seamount, where last year with the Nautilus, in the last hour of our last dive, we came up this cone feature made of volcanic rock, and near the top where we are now, we found warm water seeping out of the rocks, and in some areas associated with that warm water, we found female octopus that were brooding eggs, and they have this very specific posture when they're brooding where you see that they're upside down, and the white lines you're seeing going over them look like the underside of an umbrella. Those are their arms. Octopus have 8 arms, and you can see the suckers under their arms, and right in the center you see their mouth. And they are doing that to cover and protect their eggs. In this area we see there are a lot of these little shrimp.
Zoom in quick there. It's shimmery in there.
That would be more than happy to eat those eggs if they're not constantly being protected and watched by these moms.
Slightly. Not as warm as that other spot.
And what we're looking for right now is if we see a shimmer in the water, where it looks like the water's wavy. Over that, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's definitely a little shimmer.
I don't know how far
in this area
you'd want to go, but you can see this crack continues just off at, 10 o'clock on Argus's screen.
Yeah, seems to be the same
sort of getting
temperature.
Out of our zone here.
Yeah.
Say that again, Jan?
Even though it might be shimmering, but the hurt temp is very similar to what it has been.
Coming out a little more.
Yeah, we have to get that optode wand if we wanted to get a real temperature. So sometimes we'll see a big spike, sometimes we won't.
There's female really tucked down in there.
I'm going to zoom
there's quite a few of them around here.
Zooming out all the way, Bob.
And this is the second location where we have found these large aggregations of brooding octopus. The first area was found in 2018, also with the Nautilus, on a feature that's how far from here, Chad?
It's about 10 kilometers, 6 miles.
And that was just a chance discovery, and it really just amazed us when we found first time seeing hundreds of brooding octopus all in one area. And we actually came over to this feature specifically to see if there were also brooding octopus and seeping warm water here, and we're thrilled when we found it. As I said, we found it at the very end of our exploration last year, and we had to wait a whole year to come back and take a closer look. And now we're slowly circling around this cone feature, trying to get a minimum estimate of the number of octopus that are brooding eggs here.
Yeah. Yeah, that line is wild.
And every now and then we see an octopus like the one you're seeing here that isn't in that brooding posture. And when we can, sometimes we try and look closely at the structure of the arms, because a male octopus has a third arm that looks different than a female. Sometimes those octopus that aren't in the brooding posture are males, but sometimes they're females. If you think about it, octopus have to arrive into the area, the females, before they lay their eggs, so there will be some females that are not actively brooding in an area. And what we don't know is if the octopus arrive in groups at the same time of year, or if they're just coming in throughout the year. It's not something that we know anything about yet. And this feature on the seafloor didn't have a name, so last year we just called it the octocone, and that so far has stuck, at least with us.
Thanks for backing down, Bob. That's great. It's cool. Look at that.
Wow, look at that. Can you tell what all the little white spots are? Are those whelks? Or
I
are
think
they
it's the whelks.
sponges?
Yeah, in fact, you can see some in the foreground on the left. You can see their
Oh,
shells
yeah.
there. Those are
Okay.
definitely the whelks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Looks
again,
like
it's
they're
interesting
starting
that we
So-
haven't seen them
laying
until now.
eggs.
Oh wait, oh never mind. I thought those were eggs. It's a female tucked
Oh,
underneath
wow.
there.
I just saw what you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing people may notice is that Jan and I are working from shore, and Chad's the only member of the sanctuary science team that's on board the ship. So he's seeing things about 5 seconds. He and all the navigators, the ROV pilots, video and data loggers are all
Is that a
seeing
Zoom
things
request?
about 5 seconds
Zoom in?
before we do.
Bob, I'm going to need you to move your mic a little closer. See? Second.
God,
Thanks.
gargle with it.
Not that close.
All right, zoom out.
What are those little stalks with the white tips?
Thanks, Bob. I'm not hungry anymore now.
There's a lot of tube worms in these areas. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
what you're seeing, but
It was hanging down from the left wall of the cave. They were like thin filaments. It was a little wider at the tip. Steve, did you happen to see that?
I didn't catch that.
Oh, okay.
some
Yeah,
other
I didn't
areas
catch
we'll
it.
we'll see all these kind of these hydroids or anthozoids that are just kind of hanging out. I haven't seen them today, but I'm sure that wasn't it. So this is great. So from where we started at maybe about 4 o'clock on the
Bridge
clock
nav.
face.
.20 meters, 278. Sorry, Chad.
Oh, no worries. That's why. Yeah, if you notice, we're all in the comms here, and navigation and pilots and the crew take precedence in communication, especially with the bridge, or ship moves or things that need to be done. So.
And actually, that is a good segue into my question for you. For the science team at home, looking at HIPAC, we have started going, starting from this brooding octopus target on the east side and had moved northwest and had to drop down a little bit from our original plan contour lines just to have Herc and Argus catch up with the ship. Do you want to keep moving kind of west on the contour lines that we're on right now, or would you prefer trying to drop a little farther down the octocone?
No, we can, yeah, I'm looking at the contour lines, kind of where we started, the brooding octopus. Yeah, I suppose we can go slightly northwest, like not 270, but, or not due west like 270, maybe like 280 or something.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And then we'll try to bump back a little bit and then make that turn in about about 100 meters or so.
Okay. I know that's subtle, but like I keep looking at Argus, and you can still see lines of octopus kind of a little downslope.
Yeah, there's some right to the right side of Herc, actually, and right where we're headed.
Ooh, there's a nice little cave of them.
Chad, you give us all these little previews from our perspective.
Predicting the future.
Now I know what to. Chad's so good. Oh wow, but there's really some tucked away in there.
Yeah, there are. Be like, I think you'll see a grenadier.
Well, the last 2 days, it's not happening for me now.
Chad, we have to get you a genie hat.
Do the great Karnak or something.
Oh, I'm glad we dropped down. We would have missed all these great octopus sightings. This feels like we should see shimmer, given the number of females that are here and some of the associated fauna. What about
Want to zoom in there?
that rock?
I was just going to say,
Let's see,
just that
that's
view
kinda
right there.
Covered.
I counted
Yeah.
25 to 30 right there. I stopped at 25 and there were more. And we've seen.
Oh, look at that female way down in the crack.
Yeah, there's 2 I think there might be in there. 2 or 3.
Maybe even 3, yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3, I think there's 3.
And what's amazing about it is there's 25, 30, probably more, because I didn't see these 3 in the crack, in just one view, and we've seen dozens of views like this. So you can start to do the mental math and realize, I mean, obviously we've seen hundreds already.
Well, you can zoom
easily.
in on Argus too whenever.
And we've only been doing this for a couple hours.
I see a little bit of a shimmer there. Do you?
Do you?
No.
I'm not.
A little bit of marine
No.
snow.
But there still could be flow back in that cave, or and not all of the.
It could be my connection also.
Yeah, it's your internet.
I don't know.
But-
Can you zoom in a little bit more right in there?
But you know what we're not seeing is the rock isn't
Yeah,
clean.
there's a little, you can
Oh,
see it
yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
Where?
There's a. Oh yeah, now you, if you settle
Oh,
down,
yeah,
you
there
can
you
actually
go.
see
Okay.
shadows and a little shimmer. Yeah.
Awesome.
Jan, you were right.
You were
Good job,
right.
Jan.
It's not my connection.
And that's true. It's like the first patch we found, Jen, back in 2018, the group of 20 on top of that feature. We didn't notice the shimmer until you really stop and let everything settle. And then you start to see it. Sometimes when the ROV's moving, you can't detect it unless it's extremely
Right,
strong
but-
like it was
but
at the
we gotta
beginning of
get
the
going.
shift.
So
We're moving.
zoom out.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, but also, you know, there's that high density of those tube worms, and
They're
maybe that's
worms.
something
No, no, no,
that
no,
we need
yeah.
to keep our eyes out for, because it seems like that's where when we see those tube worms, there is flow. So if you notice, like above and to the right, there's some more of those tube worms associated with octopus and those other
Yeah.
cracks over there.
Yeah. And it's one of the animals I didn't put on the list, but it's one we haven't collected yet. But yeah, there's got to
The
be
tube
some.
worms?
Yeah, there's got to be some.
So if we
We've
could find
collected
a-
rocks with them, but I don't think we preserved them last year. But it would be
Yeah,
really
you're right.
interesting.
We dried the rocks.
Yeah, we dried them. So it'd be really interesting to see if there was some, you know, crazy symbiotic tube worm or something that has bacteria in it or something like
Hey,
that.
Al, can you zoom in on the octopus with the arms outstretched on the third arm? I think it has them modified.
I think we've
Maybe
already passed
Maybe
it.
we
I can get
okay.
back over there if you
Too
wanna.
bad.
No, we get
No, we
No,
can do it.
I mean, it's
going in.
it's up to you guys.
No, it's good. Yeah, it looks like it's modified. Yep. Cool. Male.
So, Jan, can you see it?
Oh, now I see it.
So it looks like a little club, as opposed to a point. Yeah.
Zoom in.
So that's how the sperm packet is delivered from the male to the female.
Okay, zoom out.
Right out.
Nice. Thank you for that great
Wow,
zoom.
nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Bridge, Nav.
Hey,
Great.
Bob, thank you for
And
some
I think
great
it's really
All the way out. Out.
I'm all the way out.
Oh,
And Amity's noticing a lot of
all
tube
in the
worms
rock
too.
here.
Yeah, we've seen
20 meters, 280.
decent amount of those guys.
One thing we should mention to people is how big these octopus are, because I think they come across as looking bigger than they really are. But the central part of the octopus, the part that looks like a bowling ball, is like large grapefruit size, or maybe pomelo. Which do you think? In that range.
Oh man. here
I mean, we
go.
got to stay with the food. I'm sorry, Al.
There goes the food again.
If my
So
partner,
even in animal necropsies, autopsies for animals, they describe everything similar to food. And it's just a way that humans can convey something to another human over time, like red jelly or purple jelly or buttery. And those could be, everybody knows what that kind of
Zoom in now.
looks like.
Yeah.
So comparing
It gives you
things
a
to
color, a
food is very
texture.
common.
Yeah.
Texture, color.
right out.
That, oh, what is that? It kind of looks like someone said earlier, like from an alien movie. That really had that zoom really had that kind of alien look to it.
of those tulip stalked
Something interesting the lasers are about to hit
sponges.
right now. Oh, no, it might be an anemone. Sorry.
No love for the
But
anemones.
it's off
Or
the
coral.
rock. It's on something, yeah.
So what is?
Yeah.
Never mind. Keep moving.
Oh,
Zoom in.
it's a coral. No.
The transitory verb, not the focus.
Mm-hmm.
We need a different word. Zippin'.
There are stalked anemones.
Zipping and
okay.
zooming.
There you go.
Which one is which?
Okay, so the movement is zip. Is that it?
Movement is zip, yep. So when
Okay,
Bob starts
so
to zoom
we're
and you want him to zip, let him know.
Now to me, it's interesting how some of these rocks, like the really dark one over on the left, like about 9, are so clean. Do you think that might be a place where a female was brooding for a long time and the eggs hatched and now everything is gone?
Possibly, but
question.
supposedly if we could look, supposedly the cement gets left behind after even this. I think what happens is after they hatch, the shrimp are there and probably clean up the rest of the egg case and everything that's left behind. But the cement, you can sometimes see it on the rock. And last year, Annie Hartwell was out with us on the Nautilus, and she was involved in studying the brooding moose octopus down in Costa Rica, where this phenomena had been seen for the first time. And they definitely saw the cement. What did you call it, Chad? The cement?
Oviducal cement.
The oviducal cement was
word.
left behind. It has kind of a greenish tinge to it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's some left on that rock that you were looking at, Jan.
Yeah, there always could be. I know that we've
just
seen
a very clean, dark rock.
I know we've seen the leftovers of the cement next to brooding females. So it's like, yeah, I mean, these females just probably come in and keep reusing the same spot over and over and over again.
So what are they eating? There's no fish or nothing around here.
They don't eat anything now.
So they just come here and these are.
So one way.
Do they all die?
They've all had their last meal already.
Yeah.
At least the females. And I don't know so much the males that we're seeing.
The females, yeah. The males, who knows? It depends where they are and if they've mated or.
How long do they
One thing
live?
we were talking about. Oh. Sorry, Al, what was that?
How long do they live?
We don't know.
Good question.
Oh.
I don't know. Do we know how old they might be when they actually lay their eggs? Have you read anything about that, Chad? I haven't.
Not for this species. Yeah, I don't know.
Bob, that's a fish.
I know.
It's a cuspial.
He's like lone fish out here.
He's like, hey.
Fish are important too.
Right, you can zoom out.
Zippin'.
I was kind of ahead of the game.
There's another ridge right
Ahead of
off
the game.
Yeah.
We're going that way.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing down there though.
Okay, there's tube worms again.
There's a little ridge right
Can
up
you
there.
zoom?
No, that's
Can you zoom
Bob,
in on the
that's
tube worm?
Bob,
she doesn't want to be. She don't want me to go there.
Herc, want to do a zoom? Pan left for a zoom, please.
I think it's over here.
Too late.
What are we looking at?
I just saw some areas with tube worms. I wanted to try and zoom on those to see if there's shimmer.
Disappear.
In here somewhere?
Well, there was one so the lasers are about on it for me. That general area.
I see
I
them.
thought I saw tube worms.
I'm going to zoom in. You'll see as we get closer. Just
Chad?
above the lasers. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's some
below
tube
too.
worms.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No good, man.
Oh, we got a wrap.
It's too far.
Oh.
Oh,
Ship's holding position.
I think there is a shimmer in here.
Oh, yeah. Got a little wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Can you turn more that way?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pause here for a little bit.
Wow, that's a wuzzle. What the heck?
Will it help if I just come up a little bit?
Well, maybe if it doesn't pull tight.
Yeah, you kind of hung up on the football. I'm going to zoom out all the way.
Yeah.
Zooming out all the way. Already was.
All right, I'm gonna back up. Sorry, we gotta sort this out here.
This is like trying to untangle your garden hose
Trying to
that's
drop a
2
target
miles
where we
long.
were
Can you
to.
tilt up?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Not easy.
Target dropped.
When we were panning across in that area where I thought I saw the tube worms, I saw more of that almost look like carpet folded up on itself. I'm curious if...
Oh, again. Maybe
did
it's
you
like
see that?
like a mud mat of some type of detritus.
Did it
I
work?
was curious if anyone in the
Well, I
science
think
chat
it's
saw that
okay
and has
now.
any ideas.
It's just,
Is it going like that or is it twisted?
I guess I can't tell. Can you tilt up and zoom in on it?
Yeah, can we let in a little bit? Oh no, it's just the light is out of...
Oh, it's a twist.
that's still twisted. I can spin around. It's one.
Well, we don't want
No,
to
that
jump
won't.
on, just leap without looking. Can you tilt down? So now it looks okay.
Yeah, now it looks okay.
So I think it got a lazy loop and then it hung up on the football and then.
Mind if I tilt down and make sure the rest of it's okay too?
Yeah. I need to scope the whole thing here. But you know, we don't have wraps in, and we haven't changed anything, so it sort of makes me think that it has a wrap though.
That looks okay.
That looks fine.
Yeah.
I think what may have been the case there was flying too low with,
Yeah.
You can only come down like if you're stretched out.
Yeah.
If you get tight, you got to come up.
Yeah.
So. But if you're zoomed in looking at stuff with Argus, it's easy to lose that. So. Okay, going back to where we were.
Roger. Park, you're heading to get back there is 117.
117.
You're actually pointed directly there a little.
Yeah, I just kind of came down the slope.
That's perfect. Yeah, just a little to your port and you'll hit it.
But I'm stretched out here.
Okay.
So you've moved.
Yeah, we can move back.
Do we want to move back or?
Science, do you want to go back to that tube worm site or continue on?
We can just continue on. Yeah, we head back down the slope a little bit, and actually we found or saw obviously a couple more dozen octopus, although there are a lot of males. But we can just kind of.
Okay, well I gotta kind of do more of that.
So do you want to keep heading down slope then?
Just a little bit, because I don't want to go make the circle too wide.
Roger.
Well, I gotta back up to get under you anyway.
Oh, gotcha. Well, there you go.
Right.
Ready for a move?
Yeah. Where's he gonna go?
296.
Okay.
29. Yeah, let's do that.
There were definitely some females
Courage, Nav.
tucked away in some of those
Yeah,
cracked
still more
crevices.
females here and there. There's some more now to the lower left, a good cluster of them.
Oh, yeah. And a grenadier. That's the fish. Don't want
See,
to
I told you.
leave them
I'm just
out. Don't want to leave them out. Oh yeah, you said there was a grenadier coming, but that was a while ago. Your powers are getting even stronger.
Well, temporarily they're a little off, but
Right.
This is really cool lava. Oh. Lone female.
yeah, now it's a little more pillowy.
Ship move is underway.
So Chad, you do such a nice job, I think, of explaining it. Can you explain this whole what the thinking is as to how this warm water is generated that's seeping out from between these rocks?
Yeah, something that I've gotten a crash course on from Jeff Wheat, one of the leading experts in kind of the hydrological processes of the deep sea. But the current theory is it's something called a low temperature ridge flank hydrothermal system. A little bit of a mouthful there. And so the theory is just bottom seawater is percolating through the porous basalt of seamounts. And so here would be Davidson Seamount and the main part of the seamount. That travels underground. It's estimated to be maybe several hundred meters below the sediment cap, which exists between the seamount and these rocky outcrops, and this volcanic cone in particular. So there's a few miles of sediment, and those caps of sediment are hundreds of meters
Going
thick.
down slope, is that what we want to do?
Downslope is this way, is north. Upslope is towards the cone.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm continuing to go down slope if I keep going the way we're going. Is that what we want?
I'm having your heading pointing upslope.
You are?
Yeah, it's showing that you're pointed upslope.
What did you say the last ship move
Oh yeah,
was,
I'm
though?
pointed upslope, but I'm moving downslope.
Ah, perfect, yes. Yes, moving downslope.
Okay.
Last heading is 296.
Yeah, okay.
There's some octopus in the upper part of the screen that are definitely moving their, I think there's two of them, moving their arms quite a bit.
So this water travels down through the basalt itself, underneath the sediment cap, and then just through a pressure gradient, kind of like if your garden hose had a couple holes in it, it'll find these weak points, which are going to be more basalt and rocky basalt outcrops like this, miles away from the seamount itself. And through that process, though, it's been slightly warmed. Obviously, it's going to be much warmer than 10 degrees Celsius underneath the sediment cap, because it's just further down in the Earth's crust where it's warmer. But it'll be chemically altered, and oxygen is stripped from it. And so it comes out slightly different chemical properties, lower in oxygen, higher in temperature. So there's estimates that up to 25% of the world's deep sea water cycles through this process.
25%? Wow.
Yeah.
It appears that some animals have figured out how to. It appears some animals have figured out how to take advantage of it.
And I think I'm pretty much underneath. Oh, I think this is a little, yeah.
Roger.
In fact, I'm
Seems
out
like we're
ahead of
coming
you a
up
little
maybe
bit,
on the edge.
I think.
Okay.
hard to tell with the jumping around business. But.
Yeah. Science.
Yes.
We could pop over to HIPAC. We are nearing the start of turning to